Hello everybody, how's it going? I wanted to share what my favorite niche fragrance house is because I have been getting this question non-stop on my TikTok lives, on my YouTube lives. So if you want to take a guess and pause this video, go ahead and leave your guess in the comments section, all right? But the answer is Parfums de Marly. I love Parfums de Marly. And if you've been subscribed to my channel, this should not be a shocker, right? I will say, of course, there are offerings from this house that I just can't get with, right? Like Greenlee, a Castor is forgettable to me. Darcy, Athalia, Harrod is not my cup of tea. There are things that I don't like, but for the most part, they have consistent fragrances that I love. They got banger after banger with Delina, with Meliora, with Leighton, with Carlisle, with Sedley, if you like the exclusives, if you like Percival. Very, very lovable type of fragrances. And the thing is, when I was thinking to myself, hey, what is my favorite niche fragrance house? It wasn't anything I had to think long and hard about, right? But this is what I've noticed for me when I have tried other niche brands, is that there is one breakout star, one that I get behind that I truly love, and then the rest are a total pass. And I'm referring to the bigger brands like, at least the ones off the top of my head, Creed, MFK, Raja, Anicio, Serjoff. Like I said, I can probably think of one fragrance from each of these houses that I love, and the rest, not my cup of tea, right? And the thing is, with niche fragrances, you know, the idea of being unique and artistic, like that is what they're known for. Like, you're not trying to smell like everybody else. You're trying to stand out with fragrances that nobody else around you will be wearing, right? But sometimes with niche scents, it smells a bit out of place when I go to like social settings and things like that. And I get it, you wear it for you, right? But there just are a lot more niche fragrances that I have tried that are a total pass for me because they smell not completely unwearable, but just unique, but not good to my nose. Like, I can tell, like, yeah, that smells different, but would I wear that? Hell no, right? But with Parfums de Marly, they have that uniqueness and it's still likable. And let me explain, because if you're a fragrance enthusiast and you just heard me say that Parfums de Marly is unique, you might be like, what the hell are you talking about? That's basic. And the thing is, the only people that I have seen critique Parfums de Marly are people that have encountered my videos online that have said that the house is basic. These people are already fragrance enthusiasts. These are people that have picked up this hobby and their taste is more refined. They like the more daring, bold, polarizing type of fragrances. So of course, a house like Parfums de Marly isn't gonna scratch that itch for a wild scent, something very, very polarizing. It's not gonna do that, right? But to the people that have smelled Parfums de Marly in my collection, like when people come to my room and they see this, they always gravitate to this side, this side of my collection. But when they venture over to this side and they smell the Parfums de Marly fragrances, an immediate love. And let me just say, I don't know if I mentioned this a second ago, but the people that have smelled things in my collection, not into fragrances at all. The reason they gravitate here is because, you know, they see Tom Ford, they see YSL, Dior, Louis Vuitton, and they're like, oh yeah, that's luxury. That's the epitome of luxury. Most people think designers, top of the top, right? But then when they move over here and I explain to them, oh, these are niche, they're actually double the price of these ones here, and they'll smell them, for the most part, they'll make this face with some of the fragrances, or most of them, they're like, right? But with the Parfums de Marly's, I get the wide-eyed reaction of, oh, that smells good. On top of that, when I do wear these fragrances in public, when I'm with people, they cannot get enough of it. They'll ask me what the name of the fragrance is, and then they'll Google it in front of me, right? They'll see the bottle and be like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, because they've never seen a bottle presentation like this before. And then they'll scroll a little bit, see that price tag and be like, holy shit, never mind. So it's definitely something that the smell alone is high quality enough, it's unique enough, it stands out enough to a point where people want it for themselves. But then the drawback, of course, is that niche price tag. So for me, Parfums de Marly has just never done me wrong. And on top of that, regardless of the people's reactions, right? Because I have worn Carlisle when I've just gone on night drives. Just me by myself, getting some fresh air, just, you know, just being stress-free, right? I'll just smell it on myself and be like, yeah, I smell amazing. It's something that I love to wear for me. And the bonus, the cherry on top, is just that whenever I am with people, they cannot get enough of these fragrances. They're like, oh man, you smell so good. And I'm telling you, when I'm wearing a Parfums de Marly in a room filled with people just wearing Chanel, Dior, Versace, it definitely stands out. Like it's a tier above where people are like, whoa, what are you wearing? That smells, because it does not smell like everything else. And you have to remember, there's a difference between what the fragrance community deems as basic versus what the real world actually deems as basic, right? Because niche fragrances in general are like, I never consider them basic in terms of like when you look at the world as a whole. When you look at, okay, you know what, I'm going to go to this club, I'm going to go to dinner with some friends, let me throw on a niche fragrance. You are definitely not going to smell like anybody else there, unless you're probably wearing Baccarat Rouge. The chance of you smelling somebody that smells like Baccarat Rouge is high. Even with Creed Aventus, those two are very popular fragrances, right? But with Parfums de Marly, I'm telling you, these knock it out the park every single time. At least the ones that I wear, that I enjoy, and when I'm around others, right? But I also really love that the performance is stellar with these fragrances. I'm talking about 10 plus hours, 12 plus hours. I think out of all the ones I love, Meliora probably has the weakest in performance, but it's like a fresh summery fragrance. Kind of smells like berries and stuff like that. It's like a berries champagne kind of fragrance to me, right? So the performance, definitely not as nuclear as Delina, as Leighton, but it's okay. I think the smell itself is divine. I really do love and enjoy it. So if we just kind of retrace everything, right? The reason why, or retrace, what the hell does that even, no. When I look back on it and I think to myself, okay, my favorite niche house, it's the one that has consistently just been shown out consistently, right? And don't get me wrong, I will actually be making a video about my opinions on the House of Sershoff today, in case you guys want to watch that. But I just really like that if I recommend a Parfums de Marly fragrance on my page, for the most part, when people go to smell it, they will find something that they connect with, that they love. I know that if I say, yeah, you know, why don't you check out the House of Parfums de Marly? And they go to Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus or Bloomingdale's and they pick up some stuff, they're gonna be like, oh shit, this one smells really good. It's just very likable. And like I mentioned in the beginning, the only people that I've ever heard and seen dog on the fragrances are just people online that already like the really niche sort of things, right? And it doesn't scratch that itch for them anymore. But I promise you, I have never encountered somebody online and in person that is new to fragrances, that doesn't really know much about fragrances, that has ever hated the House of Parfums de Marly. Like, I have been receiving so many DMs where they're like, I went to Nordstrom and this one guy's like, I tried that horse brand. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then he sent a screenshot, because if you know, like, they have like the horses on their things, like, I tried that horse brand and that shit is fire, right? And then he's like, and my girl really loved it. And I've had girls tell me, oh my God, I tried Parfums de Marly at Nordstrom and it's so good. I want to buy Delina. I want to do all this. So I'm telling you, Parfums de Marly is for the people. It's not for like people really, really into the niche side. Like, you know how there's like a spectrum, right? Of like designer, and then the middle here, and then you've got niche. Parfums de Marly is right here. It's got that mass appeal that will get people really liking it, but it has that niche quality that the designer side is lacking in a lot of their fragrances, besides maybe their private blends. But anyways, you let me know what you think of the House of Parfums de Marly. I'm gonna assume there's probably a lot of you that actually don't like it because you're more into fragrances, but you let me know what actually your favorite niche house is, all right? Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.